please insert drink and hit play. Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You have John Daniels here. Welcome to BlueRayDismay. I have my two counterparts.
The Right Honorable Javier Ian Marcellus Ignatius II Esquire.
Jimmy!
And Bruno Diaz, a.k.a. Johnny C., a.k.a. Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker. Hey guys, what's up? Okay, today we are doing a fifth of Ghost in the Shell, the 1995 anime.
Yeah, not the 2017 dumpster fire.
Not the 2017 Scarlett Johansson movie, but the anime that was, again, way back old school, 95.
Yeah.
So guys, we are...
Was it 25 years old now?
Yeah, it's coming up, yeah. And by the way, full
wow.
spoiler alert. This is a fifth of...
Spoiler alert.
So, yeah, we're going to be bouncing off back and forth. We're going to be fast forwarding through the movie. So,
Might be even spoiling Matrix and other things that are heavily influenced by this movie.
And also...
along the way.
Yes, and
Spoiling
also...
Blade Runner.
Spoiling Blade Runner. And also...
Now spoiling The Matrix.
Matrix, and also spoiler alert on the themes for future hentai porn films. So, yes.
Now
I think
spoiling
those are at the
Cyberpunk.
same time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's still lots of it.
So, what did you guys
Okay, so...
think?
Oh, yeah, this movie's great. Or, go ahead, Jimmy.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, I'll go. John Daniels. What the hell is this movie? All I know is like some superhuman life form cyborg.
Well, you've seen it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just trying to like talk out loud. It's a superhuman like life form takes over like this, I guess, already like cyborg. It's like the internet takes over a cyborg and then comes to life.
Yeah.
Partially.
As a little girl.
As you break it down to it, yeah.
You're getting on track there. You're getting closer.
And that's all I got.
Essentially.
Oh, come on.
Essentially, yes.
Where to begin with this movie?
No, I just love this movie, just the anime style. When I saw it back then, when I was a kid, I was like, "What the hell's going on?" But like, it's one of those ones you don't appreciate. I just liked it because like the animation, the crazy action, and probably the nudity when I was a kid. But it's like the more I watch it, it's one of those ones that the more you get older, where you can appreciate it more and like what they're saying. It's like it's still relevant and it still makes you think even now. Because we're almost there to where they're talking about, or somewhere leading towards there.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Dude, I think one of the
way ahead of its time. Yeah, totally.
One of the more pivotal scenes in this is the disgusting robot fingers, where they're like tentacle fingers off of fingers.
Yeah.
Right. That's
Nasty.
So you can type faster.
Yeah, right.
I like that part.
60 words a minute is not enough. You need 600 words a minute.
Exactly.
I don't have a typewriter sound effect.
But yeah, so I think she is, to break it down, like, yeah, she's somehow tied to this police, what is it, Group 6 or something?
Section 9.
Section 9. And then she's, I think she's like a RoboCop type person where she signed up to be part of this task force where they can do any kind of augmented whatever to your body. You pretty much sell your body,
soul.
not your soul. Well, your ghost is your ghost, but well, I guess they do have control over it now, but...
Right.
Wait, so your body is the shell, right? They keep referencing shell in the movie.
Yeah, so
Right.
the shell is just
Cybernetic body.
your body, your cyborg body,
Human body, cybernetic
with
body.
your little brain ghost inside, which is like essentially your soul.
So,
I would guess.
It really helped me a lot when I started mentally translating ghost as soul or mind or animus.
Yeah,
That really makes a big difference in how
yeah,
you
it
see
makes a lot more sense.
I think partly the reason they chose the title Ghost in the Shell is a homage to the book Ghost in the Machine.
Javier, it's pronounced home age.
Home age?
Now, there is some criticism online that Matrix took from
No,
this
it's
movie.
a criticism. It's flat out acknowledgement. I mean,
Oh, really?
It's more as just pointing out.
As far as from
Hey,
what I
look,
understand, I don't know if
This
it's
is what they took from it.
true or not, but apparently the Wachowskis had this on video and plopped it down in front of Larry Silver and said, "Hey, we're gonna do this.
We're going to do this.
Yeah, and so it does take a lot of cues from that. So we're gonna loop around back. I get to that. It's hugely influential, but in turn, it was also influenced by certain other things, most notably Blade Runner and possibly Neuromancer.
Yeah, and probably a bunch of crazy sci-fi, cyberpunks, whatever they're reading back then.
When did Cyberpunk come out?
Mid '80s, early '90s.
Oh, so this was after Cyberpunk.
right.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So yeah, the
Cyber-
director here, what's his name?
Matsumoto?
No,
Come on.
sorry, I got it right here.
Can't read the
Mamoru Oshii. He also
God
did,
bless you.
He did the Pat Labor movies before this, which is another anime manga type deal,
Right.
which are kind of the same futuristic, robots, it's like police force type thing.
Right. Similar themes.
yeah.
I believe the Pat Labors are like robotic workforce, right?
Yeah, and so this is what and this is what led him to do this movie, to adapt this, which was a manga previously.
Right. like many beloved properties, it started out as line drawings on paper and then got translated to film in a big budget production.
Yeah, late 80s, I think, when the manga came out.
Have you guys seen the 2017 Scarlett Johansson Ghost in the Shell?
No, I haven't seen it.
Is it supposed to follow this? I guess, right? Is that?
I think it's just this movie remade,
It's just a dumpster fire.
Hmm.
No, I haven't seen it, but I know it's a dumpster fire.
Yeah,
No, it
I
makes me
saw from
sound
the trailer.
prejudiced.
I saw from the trailers. I didn't want to see it.
Well, really?
Yeah, getting too spoiler ahead, but like the thing that struck me is like immediately like in the trailer they make a concern about who I was in the past and they're lying to me, who was my body. And it's like apparently you didn't watch this movie because there's a specific scene in this movie where like who was I before, and another character just like quit whining about it, bitch.
Yeah, they're very there's no really focal point on like
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that was
trying
the
to
main,
find one's history.
No, it's all about creating a future, like actually building. So the Ghost in the Shell movie, 95, was forward looking. The Ghost in the Shell 2017 was some backward looking like Born Identity shit, which we didn't need Scarlett Johansson for or anything. Didn't need to be made.
But yeah, the opening credits were totally what Matrix took directly.
Oh,
with
the
numbers.
green lettering, the
Yeah.
green numbers that's scrolling throughout the screen and then
Yeah.
taking text from
Right.
the scrolling.
They just rotated it 90 degrees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. And the green letters wrote, and then it changes into the credits, as it goes
Yeah.
on.
Right.
But the for what they did for that effect is the numbers actually is actually their anime staff, and then they converted that to like code into the numbers or something like that. And so those are the numbers that you see going by. So they're not just like random numbers. It's actually like computer code of all
They
the
have
people
meaning?
working on the movie. Yeah.
Numerology code?
Yeah.
Numerology.
So it's just like a nice little like nod that they put in there, which is
Right.
cool.
A nice homage or
It is
homage.
Acknowledge the
no,
staff.
it's not. Yeah, homage to the staff.
The
But
guys
that
working-
that's pretty cool. It's not just random numbers. Like there's something there. It is code. some type of code at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, the use of 3D graphics, really first
Right. 90s
animes
CGI.
to use this. Yeah, 90s CGI. Besides like Beauty and the Beast, I don't know, a bunch of other animated movies started using more CG in them, and this is one. And I love the way they use it in this, is because they only use it when they're using like computers and stuff, and it's like for all the screens and then like all the
Right.
and like a couple of the shots with the cloak and all the other stuff. But it's very limited and it's
Used
not. It
up-
doesn't take away from like the hand drawn animation. It only
Right. It's used appropriately when
Yeah.
necessary
Yeah.
for the function of telling the story, not to just show off CGI. If anything, they tend to show off some of the beautiful hand-drawn artwork here, because if you just stop and look with the sound off, it's like, man, there's a series of really beautiful paintings going on right
yeah.
here.
And the main thing that the artist tried to do from the very beginning, they were like striving for realism. That was like one of their main goals, is just to like be very grounded in reality and make it just like look how it would be in real life, and that's why it translates well to like a big motion picture type movie that you put out everywhere, because it is very
Right.
it's not
kind of-
very over cartoony, It's
Right.
very
Despite the subject matter, it's actually a very grounded movie.
Yeah,
It
it's
tries to
serious
keep
stuff
things
going on. It's
not too fantastical, even though they're dealing with a weighty subject or philosophical subjects. They're pondering a lot. So-
I love the one scene where the dude, what do they call him, the playmaker or whatever the hell, the puppet master. Yeah, he is. He's questioning the people that are questioning him. They're like, "Yeah, you're just a program. You're a virus. You're nothing." He goes,
Yeah.
"Well, you're just also. Well, you have to prove your existence to me. Where did you come from? How do you
Right.
prove your DNA?" And
Yeah.
it was so funny. They were going like deep on it. Like I was like,
Yeah, a lot of this is like just like an info dump and like deep philosophy. Like think about your existence and what it is to
Right.
be alive, and
dude, I was
if you
thinking
could be a
about life or
machine.
death at the
Yeah.
same time I was watching that scene. I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it goes back to the root of at least Western philosophy. How do you prove your own existence? And for example, Descartes came up with the proposition, "I think, therefore I am." But you can't really prove yourself that you exist to anyone else. You can't prove that anyone else exists.
Dude, it's all a dream. This is nothing but a dream.
No, this is not Matrix.
That's Cowboy Bebop.
I don't live in Matrix.
This is a dream. I swear to God.
If I do live in Matrix, then I
Are
will
we the
be
dream or the
Neo.
dreamer?
We are nothing.
We wake up.
We're everything.
the-
I'm
dream
everything
end?
all at once. Yeah.
Hey, check this
The
out,
dream ends,
guys.
do we end it?
So
we
this
wake
came out.
This
in-
is what Ghost in the Shell makes you say.
I know. This came out in '95. Did you guys have a chance to check out I think '04 was when the second one came out, and that was
Yeah.
some time after. I mean, that was almost 10 years after.
Right.
Does it follow the story? Does it follow the theme? Does it follow I didn't watch it, so I don't know.
It follows it to an extent, but like any sequel, it kind of loses a little impact. It follows the adventures of Kusanagi after she's left Section 9 and merged with the Puppet Master. Yeah, it's full spoilers.
Yeah.
The second one was
for what is it? Innocence or something?
Innocence, right? But what's his name? Bateau and
wasn't it
and
like kind
company.
of a rehash?
Kind of, but Kusanagi wasn't there in the beginning because she was in. She had disappeared and was in the net as the new life form. But Bateau was following a hack case of like ghost hacked bodies or whatever that were committing crimes. And he came back in contact with her and had to contact with her briefly and try to solve a mystery.
Yeah.
Like I said, it lacks some of the deep philosophical ponderings and kind of replaced that with a little bit more, some more very pretty animations, but I don't know. It didn't quite grab me in quite the same way.
No, not nearly as good. I'd watch it just because, I don't know. I do also like the Standalone Complex, the show. I did catch like the first season. I think I have it on like DVD or something. But there's some good episodes in there.
DVD, blasphemy.
No, blasphemy. And then a long time ago. But yeah, one episode where like this guy like does gets like he like transfers his ghost into like a tank, goes on like a rampage, and then they're the team that goes on to take it out. And that's a cool that's one of the only ones I remember from the show. But that's a cool episode. And there's a couple good ones in there.
Must be an old sci-fi story, The Tank and His Lover.
Yeah. And then like so it's just fun to play in the world that they created here. That there's so much like detail into what they're doing, and then like all the stuff that they're talking about. There were any million different kind of things to be going on, you know.
Right.
These cyber bodies
that's the thing.
that anybody can hack and do whatever.
They didn't make
Implanting memories. People aren't even themselves anymore. Like all
Dude,
this
Dark
crazy
City, implanting memories while people are sleeping.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
Dark
another
City,
thing. It came out around the same time. Right? When was Dark City?
I think it was early 2000s,
like
2001
98.
maybe.
It was like
Was it
97 or
90s?
98, yeah.
Right. So again, maybe
Holy moly.
It might be earlier. I don't remember.
Well, someone cheat and look it up.
Yeah.
But apparently, shamefully, we don't have the knowledge of this off the tip of our fingers.
It is a good movie. I have it on Blu-ray. I will
Tip of my
not
hat.
lie.
Dark City, shout out.
Dark
Shout
City. I think
Kiefer
it was
Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland who was playing the doctor.
Talking in
Oh,
a terrible
yeah.
accent.
Yeah.
Do you know the way to show beat?
That's what he was doing. I swear to
Yeah.
God, half the movie's like
Do you know what time it is?
He's Igor.
12 o'clock. Noon or midnight.
noon or midnight.
So, yeah, I have a lot to say. Dark City was 1998.
Oh, 98. Okay.
So I was right.
So, again, influenced by this, the idea of memory.
Murdoch. They were chasing Murdoch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The idea of memory creating your identity.
Yeah.
Dude, it's all
this
fake. I'm not
theme.
kidding. It's all life is fake.
Whatever you want to believe,
Yes.
bro.
Swear to God.
I'm telling you, man.
Or swear to whatever.
The memories of the 2016 election were implanted in our minds by the reptilian overlords.
No.
Yes. Thank you. Finally, someone gets it.
Finally,
Jesus
someone
Christ.
said it out loud. Oh no.
Hey.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Hey, so let me ask you this, guys. This movie was obviously pivotal. Everyone knows it. I mean, even people that don't follow anime know. They kind of,
Right.
if you mention the name, they're
It's
like,
like
yeah,
this
isn't
and
that that one?"
Akira are like the things.
Right.
Yeah, I
what-
also love Akira totally.
Are there any?
one of the artists worked on Akira as well. That worked on this movie.
Are there any modern day equivalents that you could kind of tie this movie to? Like right now, like there's this one either series or this one.
Crazy heavy movie that's like ahead
Yeah,
of
that's
time.
like yeah.
Actually, the closest thematically would probably be Westworld because that deals with a lot of similar themes. What makes consciousness? What is
But that's
life?
based off of 70s.
No. But I'm talking like I'm
right,
sorry.
but it's taking that in a whole direction. I mean,
Yeah.
I meant to ask anime wise.
Good take.
Anime wise.
anime wise. Good question. Whatever Ghibli pops out now.
Ghibli.
I don't know.
Yeah, this is more lighthearted.
Anime itself has gone like in a different direction, I think, because it's a thing. You know, it's like everything else. There's trends in like whatever genre you're working in. For example, for like westerns used to be really popular in Hollywood. Now they're not so much anymore. And then for a while it was all crime movies, and then now in the 2000s it's all comic book movies. That's
Yeah,
the
it's all
trend.
Marvel. Yeah, Marvel,
Right.
DC. Mhm.
Even like stuff that's like not even a comic book movie, it gets turned into a comic book movie or vice versa.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
That's, I think we were discussing earlier. Joker was like a comic book movie, but it's also really successful because it tackles some weighty themes that you wouldn't expect in a comic book movie, but it had to be a comic book movie in order to get made.
Right.
So I could say for like for anime, just this is a very broad Gaijin perspective. I would say that the 80s and 90s were like the era of hard sci-fi for anime.
Yeah.
And as the 2000s wore on, they tend to have gone into the more fantastical direction. And then now, for some reason, there is a lot of high school drama and fantasy going on, which is kind of disheartening.
Yeah, I think there's always been
High
that, but I
school
think
drama
there's just
fantasy?
less
Yeah.
of the other stuff now. So it's
Right.
just other now. That's all
like,
that's left.
I just wouldn't imagine them making a Ghost in the Shell now. I mean, 'cause
Yeah, Fully Cooley maybe. That was like early 2000s though, or
Yeah,
something.
even
right?
that deals with high school students. The thing about this is
That's
that
true.
it deals with adults doing adult things in an adult world. And like most of the things you see now tend to end up with like the protagonists kind of get younger, and you get like, I don't know, what's like the most popular thing right now you can think of?
What, like
Yu-Gi-Oh,
anime wise?
Yeah.
Pokemon.
Well, no, that's always been an undercurrent though. I mean, it has this place. It's like
Dude, the last thing I know that's big,
Naruto.
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball, love Dragon Ball.
yeah. Well, that kind of gets an obsession. It's such a long runner. It started in the 80s, and it started out with a kid, but then it follows that kid throughout his entire life. So that's
And then his
pretty
kids.
interesting. Yeah, and then his kids. So that's a multi-generational saga at this point. If only for being such a long runner.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's not really anything.
last
What
thing-
would I can compare any anime to from this movie nowadays? I don't really know. That's a good question.
Well, like
Thank you.
Our styles have shifted. Like situations have shifted. Like well, the strength of anime is that it's always been able to portray whatever it wants in any genre it wants because it's just limited to your imagination and pen on paper.
Paprika.
Who?
That's like
That's a seasoning.
that's like early 2000s. That's like mid 2000s, like 2007 or something like that.
Right.
What about
And
Samurai
that's
Jack?
and that's like really good animation. Kind of like really, it is fantastical, but it's like more dream, and it's like it follows the detective and like all this other stuff.
Mind beneath you.
Yeah, so it is like hacking it. It's kind of like Strange Days. Remember Strange Days?
Yeah.
The New Year's movie where they like
Oh,
where
the
they hack
movie, not the
Juliette Lewis, where they like hack into their brains and stuff.
Oh, I'm trying to remember. I'll have
Come
to.
on, it's directed by the James Cameron.
And wasn't
What's her name?
Catherine Bigelow.
Yeah, I think that's her.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I gotta
Wasn't-
rewatch
wasn't
it. Or I
Angela
gotta watch it.
Bassett
at
Yeah,
least.
so it's a lot. Also, yeah, Strange Days, another one. That's it. Just a
So
lot
we
like
done
this.
Influenced by that
Yeah,
because
yeah.
a lot of it's Strange Days is all about memory and its impact on.
But it's
People.
implant there, don't they? Oh yeah, it's more like recording, like hacking.
Yeah, it's recording,
recording memories, but yeah.
Right, not implanting memories. In
Yeah.
fact, anything you have to go to like Inception, but way back in 2000. What was that?
2010. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Uh,
But
that's a-
Paprika is the one I can think of.
Right.
Not as influential, I would say, but
Comparable in terms of being
good animation, good
Themat-
story, somewhat thematically comparable, maybe.
Right.
Makes you think.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this we'll say about this is that the thing I'll say about this is that it's a philosophy textbook wrapped around an action movie. Pretty much is what it is because there's a lot of philosophizing in it. In fact, one of my favorite things about this is the interaction between Kusanagi and Bateau, because she keeps asking, "Where am I from? What makes me human?" At one point, he tells her, "Knock it off already,"
Yeah, get
Yeah.
back to work.
because he's like, it's like the duality of it, or the back and forth of it. She's very philosophical. He's very pragmatic. As explained
Yeah,
in the movie.
he's more human.
More or less human, depending, because they both have similar amounts of cyborg body, as he explains later to the new guy.
Yeah. He's the other side, or whatever she is.
Right, they're like flip sides of the same coin. It's like she's like wondering what it's all about, but he's like, I've got a job to do.
Yeah.
He's like, this is my new body.
Yeah, I got work to do. I got to go do this, that, and the other. All right, let me do this.
Dude, there was a
She
movie,
is-
and I have
she-
to look it up. Hold on, let me see if I can look it up now.
Yeah, look it up.
While you're
She
doing
ascends to like a new whatever.
that, well,
Well, I
like
think
said,
the
film-
other thing that created itself through technology, the internet, and created itself or
Right.
something, and then that merged with her to create a new being.
Right. Well, as I like to put it, it's like the Project 2501 specifically denies being an AI, and I think the closest thing you can really label it, if you want to pigeonhole it, is
Tron.
is an emergent behavior, as in it was started out as a computer program, but gradually accumulated enough information and experience to have its own ghost or soul, as you would put it.
The new Tron movie, right? Isn't that
Possibly.
what happened?
I think so, possibly.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot it, except for the Daft Punk soundtrack.
That's what the anti-bridges is. Yeah, that's what the anti-bridges is. Isn't that right?
No,
Pretty
what's
sure.
her name? Olivia Wilde's character. That's just the one that sort of more or less achieves like
Oh, she's the new life form. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
but made of imperfection.
He's the bad version of himself
Yeah.
that he made. Yeah, okay.
He's the bad perfect version of
Yeah.
himself or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, they go into this because they talk about the nature of life, and that's a question philosophers have been grappling with throughout most of civilization. Is like, how do you prove that you're alive? How do you prove what life is? Or
I'm right
What is
here,
it alive?
goddammit.
can you prove your intelligence or not? Do
Dude,
you have
this is all a dream.
Si,
Everyone.
senor.
proof of existence?
Yeah, right. We're not going to remember in 100 years.
There'll be evidence left behind them.
Will there?
Not if I implant my brain into a tank.
Yeah.
Then they'll remember.
No, into a computer, man.
My Twitter feed.
Everyone will.
in 100 years. Never remember how dumb.
Remember
I
that
was.
super nice tank that was around for a while? That was me.
Well, that gets into a whole other philosophical
Really nice
area.
tank.
Really nice thing.
Is what the Ray Kurzweil is transhumanism, with the idea you can upload your consciousness into something else and then achieve a form of immortality.
Yeah, that's the ghost.
So
But that's the interesting thing about this
Where's
movie.
my shell? God damn
is
it!
that
dude, I can't
deliberately
find this goddamn movie.
I want to be
It
Iron Man.
deliberately rejects that concept because part of its philosophy, the ghost anyway, is that in order to be alive, you need to be able to experience death.
Oh, that.
So he
Yeah.
needs to be part of something larger than itself, and that
Oh, yeah, that's true.
seems to be his criteria.
He like ascended into like a weird heaven state.
No, he didn't ascend anything. It's like
He ascended into her.
they
converged.
They commingled and became a new life
They
form.
became Fly,
They
Brundle
conver-
Fly.
They converged
Yeah.
to be a new thing. Yes.
Right. So my closest parallel I can draw
They are
is
Venom.
actually the Star Trek: The Motion Picture, where a very similar thing happens between the V'ger probe and Lieutenant Decker.
Ew.
If you think about it, because the V'ger was a man-made
What?
the V'ger probe was a man-made creation that got sent off into space,
I don't remember that part.
fell into a wormhole, and then found a machine civilization, was added on to an augmented to be a being of pure logic and creation, and then went on a mission to find his creators.
Oh, I do remember that. Yes.
And
He's a bad guy, right?
no, he's a thing looking for an answer. He's a philosopher that he's a creation of pure logic looking for an answer that
Yeah.
logic can't answer.
Why'd you build me? I don't know.
And when he comes
I
back
had
to Earth,
free time.
when he comes back to Earth looking for that answer, the solution ends up being merging with Decker to gain something that's both more and less than what it was before, to some other new life form, and that's what's
Yeah.
happening. The same similar process is happening
Yeah.
in this movie.
I wonder how long was he sentient by himself? Because he's been working on it for a long time. He said he's like been working, like pulling strings. He's a puppet master. You know,
Right,
he's got
couple
puppets all
years.
around. Yeah, like years he's been doing this, trying to get out and merge with. I guess that's what his goal. He's been looking for someone along his level, which is her,
Right.
Makoto, or what Makoto? What was it?
Motoko.
Motoko. God damn it! Sorry, but yeah. So yeah, he's been looking for her, like her type specifically to merge with.
Okay, guys, I found your answer to whether or not we actually exist in this world or
Oh,
not.
goodness.
And the movie is called Selfless.
Don't you tell me what I can and can't do.
Yeah.
And it's with Ben Kingsley and also, I
Gandhi?
believe, Ryan Reynolds.
Green Lantern.
Is that
no.
where he clones himself or something like that?
Yeah, so they come up with this process called, I believe it's called skinning,
Uh-huh.
where as soon as someone dies, you pay this company and they take
I remember the trailer. Yeah,
they take your collective sense or whatever, they take
Never
your
seen it,
brain
though.
waves or whatever,
Yeah.
and they move it into another body. And this process is called skinning. It's used by the military, blah, 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 whatever. And of course, the elite, like the rich. And so that's how they continually live forever or continue living.
Sounds kind of like Altered Carbon.
I don't know.
Vanilla Sky.
But that is the answer,
Instead
guys.
of Black Mirror.
That's
And-
what I was gonna say. San Junipero, Black Mirror is kind of like this.
The
Where you're kind of like turning in yourself into some other thing where you just live in a shell.
Another answer, you could cryogenically freeze yourself. They have companies out there today, right now. I believe the charge is $160,000. And they will take your body right when you die. They'll freeze it, and then they'll wake you up attached to a Borg in like 1,000 years or whatever.
Cool.
Now, if you don't have the 160 Gs available, everyone, they will give you a discount. They'll charge you $80,000 to freeze your head, and then you'll be on a robot body.
So Futurama was right.
Maybe.
Right. Yeah, all the heads in jars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they have all the ancient heads too.
Yeah.
So you just have to make sure to like remember to click
Start
take your
freezing now.
take your collective soul with your head while it's in
I
a
can't
jar.
wait to party
So-
with Fry in the year
So
3000.
you saying you want to keep a cool head?
Year 2000. What?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, yeah. Don't question me. But like I said, the part of why I like this movie is the philosophical ponderings. It sort of
Yeah.
grapples with questions that still philosophers
People
grapple
are
with to
fun.
this
It's
day.
still fun to talk about. We're still talking
Right.
about it right now.
Yeah. And like I said, and that's just the philosophical part. Now, the other thing I want to go into, I don't know if you guys want to talk about it at all, but
Go
is
ahead.
influences upon and influences upon it.
It, the
Okay.
clown?
No.
Let me just jump into a quick couple facts about the anime. The
All
anime
right.
style right
The
here.
enemy.
The enemies.
Yeah.
So the layout designer for the layout designer for this movie he said that when in the interviews what they usually do the animes, like he does it like, you know, he said it took him 3 times as long to do this movie as usual, and like that was the amount of effort that they put in this movie, like the super detail, all the things you see, the backgrounds, pretty much all the layouts and for all the scenes. That was all the layout designer right there, like doing the work. And he was like, yeah, he's like, I felt like I did like a couple years.
Shit.
Yeah, he's like, I did the shit out of it. And he was like,
That's what she said.
And the same thing goes for the audio designer, where he was so inspired by the visuals of the movie, where he felt like the audio needed to match that level of quality, so he went above
So
and
the
beyond.
sounds had to match.
Yeah,
that's
so
what she said.
the audio designer, he's like, yeah, he was so in awe of it that he went above and beyond to try to match the quality of the visuals, for the audio, which I think comes through with the song that they play repeatedly, all those crazy shots of Hong Kong, or not Hong Kong, but
You
Newport
racist. You racist.
Technically, it's Newport City.
Newport City, that is very much based on Hong Kong, and the reason it is because
you're a racist.
I believe it is like that in the manga too, and the director did it because he liked it as how he wanted to portray how the internet would be, how it's just flowing information, everybody connected, everybody's making comments all the time, like everybody's instantly connected all the time.
All crammed together.
Crammed together and
flowing.
compact.
That's what she said.
And that's why he's felt that Hong Kong was a very good representation to that. To instead of just, he said he was going to use it maybe more screens or some other type of way to do it before, but then he felt like setting in Hong Kong make it cramped, and like there's always hustle bustling out of the city, like New York or something like that.
Information's always flowing.
Yeah, information
Hustling
highway
and bustling and cramped.
Ads everywhere.
So that's like
That's
it helps like with the themes of the movie to set it there. So it's like there's always kind of like this shot right here. That's a Blade Runner shot with the buildings.
I like it where it's a 45-degree angle helicopter shot, and the building lights are like all in the background.
blue,
that's actually one of the coolest scenes in the movie.
Yeah, I
Like,
love that. That's a Blade
awesome.
Runner shot
Yeah.
for sure.
Right.
But yeah, just a couple of quick things on that.
It was a work went into this. You can tell it was like clearly a passion project, or
Oh, and
someone's working really hard on this.
One of the other major ones for me that I heard from the director from an interview was he felt that there wasn't enough movies in Hollywood that clearly portrayed the influence and power of computers that it has on society, and he felt that this message could be more effectively conveyed through animation. And so that's another reason why he took on the project to do this movie, and read the manga 3 times over because there's so much like information for him to take in. He felt like he had to read it over and over and over again.
Computers bad.
Yeah.
Books good.
Actually, yeah, but that's the thing. This is like unlike a lot of other movies. This is like computers aren't necessarily good or bad. They're tools that take on their own behavior based on what we use them for.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a thing that's one of the things, in the ways this movie is very prescient, is they talk about what the puppet master, the hacker's doing. One of the things they note is political engineering.
So the Puppet Master is just like a smart web virus that becomes conscious.
He's like Smith or whatever, but he's just way better than Smith because
Agent
Smith. Yeah,
he's way more limited,
and he's trying to get into Neo.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
Kind of, but not really. But the thing is, all right, is that
in the third one, right? Isn't that what happens?
In this movie, at least, the Puppet Master started out as a program designed to ghost hack humans, which is just hacking on human people. And then they list out the crimes he's been listed of, and it's like, wow, this could be things today because he's been involved in cyber terrorism, political engineering, and it's like for those of us in the United States listening to like the past 2-3 years of, the Russians hacked the election or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it talks about by buying some Facebook ads somehow.
Yeah,
it talks about like themes like that, is that you can use cyber
warfare. They got a lot of hits, man.
Mm-hmm.
Cyber warfare and the fact that the influence that computers and computer information technology does have on our day-to-day life.
Fake news gets 1 million hits all a day on Facebook, and Facebook don't care because they get 1 million hits of views every day.
Dude, Facebook is fake.
I know.
Facebook is, think of the most evil AI in the world. That's Facebook. Yes.
Anyway, but the point being is that they kind of pointed out that this is a tool that can be used, and it's not necessarily a good or evil tool. It's just a tool that exists, and where it can be used or what it can be used for depends entirely on who's using the tool. But then things go off the rails when the tool becomes self-aware. It's like, what if you had a dog that suddenly started talking back?
Short circuit.
Yeah. And it goes on from
Johnny
there.
Five.
Short circuit 2.
It's actually cautiously optimistic about the prevalence or intentions of new life born out of humanity, because a lot of movies in sci-fi about AI tend to be AI going bad and trying to kill us all.
Can't believe we haven't brought up Terminator yet.
Like, yeah, Terminator, HAL 9000, Skynet, all those things. Every time we create an artificial intelligence, it's like, oh, it's going to kill us now for some reason.
Nah, I would always imagine AI is just kind of being like, you guys are weird. I'm going to go float off into space and see what else is going on.
Like Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah.
He would be the nice AI Terminator.
Like Dr. Manhattan. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Johnny Walker would be the most pleasant Terminator. Hey, guys.
All right.
What are y'all doing? Killing each other still? All right, I'm out of here.
Funny.
But yeah, like so getting back to influences, like this movie was clearly influenced by Blade Runner. From what I understand, Blade Runner actually influenced a lot of other things, including stuff like Bubblegum Crisis, which was another influential or popular anime at the time in Japan.
Crisis.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Is that a movie?
it was a series.
Oh.
But Blade Runner clearly influenced the art direction of this movie. But then this movie would go on to influence things like The Matrix, which was its
and
own
other things, such as...
well, Dark City. If you think about the collection of memories.
Dude, Dark City
Mystic
is
people.
real. This is all fake. Think about it. Every time you go to sleep, you
All right.
die.
I can go anywhere... What?
Yeah, every time you go to sleep. You have no idea that you're alive.
I prefer
Did I
to think
say this on the dreaming thing where everybody's like
I prefer to think of it as passing out,
living
and
different
hallucinating vividly.
consciousness or whatever? Yeah.
Passing out and hallucinating until what?
I'd pass out for 8 hours and hallucinate vividly.
Yeah, but you have no idea that you're actually not hallucinating.
Yeah,
Yeah, you do.
sometimes I do.
Lucid dreaming, dude. Look it up.
Dude, that just means you're crazy.
No, it's a thing
Yeah.
people can do. I've had it happen. It's weird.
What, where you're awake and you know you're sleeping and dreaming?
No, you're aware that you're dreaming and you can kind of like control what happens.
I
And
think
until
I
you
had
ca-
that before.
Until you can't, and then you wake up.
I don't know. Ask Sigmund Freud. Bring him back.
Yeah, I mean it's a real thing that happens, so it's not.
Not Freud,
Crazy.
Jung.
Who?
Freud's student, and then later his own guy, Carl Jung.
Hmm.
You talked about the collective unconscious of the human race.
The human race?
Yeah.
Cool.
Holy shit.
Which is a theme they kind of deal with here. Like the memory of humanity is contained in its DNA.
That mob mentality,
The
man.
reproductive function is what helps define life. And he wants to participate in that.
Yeah.
So when the guy asked him, maybe she just came looking for a girlfriend. Like one guy's like, "Now you're being silly," but actually kind of not.
He's not that crazy.
Yeah,
He found his counterpart. Yeah.
he needs to participate in the reproduction by variation. And
Yeah.
and that's the driving engine of life on Earth.
Okay.
Did he say that in the movie?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
talks about it when they're
Yeah.
when they're hacked into each other near the end. He's like, "I need to creation by replication."
No,
variation.
the girl says it. Masoto.
Over specialized and you breed for weakness.
She's like, that's why we have the human on. She's like,
Right.
He's like, why do you keep me around? And she's like, well, if we all thought and did the same things and everything, there's like a different point of view that somebody could take, and that might be
Right.
very useful. So
then
we're
Puppet
gonna
Ma-
need that.
Yeah, Puppet Master echoes that when he says,
yeah,
like,
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Pure replication is limited because one little thing could wipe out entire systems that would have
Yeah.
no defense.
So I need that human on the team to keep it real.
Right. So he wants to merge his
Literally.
machine intelligence with her human intelligence
Dude, nuts.
to create something else. Like I said, plot of Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Nutty nuts.
Yeah.
So you got stuff from Star Trek and Blade Runner coming in on one side. You got the Matrix coming out on the other. It's a whole mishmash.
It's got a lot of everything, yeah. And and the reason why it's so interesting and relevant to talk about still today is because we're not too far off from this. Or it seems like we could go in this direction.
Dude,
or
I
we
told you,
are.
they're already freezing. They're chopping people's heads off and freezing them.
Oh,
and
I'm
they're
saying
gonna bring them
they're
back
gonna have
in a
robot
jar.
bodies, yeah.
Yeah.
I know, yeah. I'm talking about like they're literally transferring your consciousness into something else and becoming
Oh, they said
something else, yeah.
they said by the year close to 2050, we will be able to transfer our conscious thoughts into my little flash drive here.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
weird.
So it's not
USB
that far off because this
3.0.
movie takes place in 2029. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
no.
it's almost right on. It's right on the point. It's right on the. It's right on
Right.
the head. So it's probably this movie was made from the future. It's like a warning to us that we should live. This is the Terminator.
Hey, guys.
So this is why we're talking about it.
AI will take over.
So
all you
don't
stupid humans.
turn into a cyborg. Don't implant yourself. Just live the
But-
natural free life.
Yes,
Go
do all
read
those
under a
things.
tree and like swim in the river.
go be a
And
cyborg. Meet your cyborg boyfriend.
and then meet your cyborg boyfriend, and then everything will be cool.
Turn into life.
Funny. Too funny.
Yeah.
On a weird another side note, this movie was edited with Avid system.
What is Avid System?
It's just an editing program from the mid '90s, and it was new for when it came out, and
But now it's, like, ancient?
Now it's ancient. Well, Avid's still around. It's still an editing thing that people use, but this movie was one of the they said not a lot of anime movies use that type of editing system, and it was like brand new. It was literally what you can do now, where you can scan every image and manipulate it and do whatever you want and place it. Right. They said other ways of doing it was very more manual, not so much automated on the computer, you know. So like and this is one of the first like major animes to use that editing system, and it was big for them at the time because they were like, oh, this is, you know, it's like a big budget movie. You know, all the 3D tech that's going into it, and like it was like, you know, just part of the high budget like production of the movie, and why it's so good.
Draw a parallel with Star Wars here. I think like Star Wars, it like kind of pushed the craft of movie making for anime forward.
Yeah,
where like Star Wars introduced motion control cameras and
like all the new tech was going into it,
automated editing and you know the sound systems. This pushed the art and craft of movie making a little bit further forward. So, despite all the little clever verbs you saw on Princess Mononoke about being a Japanese Star Wars,
and converted to film and all this, and
I
all
think
that
this
other
is
stuff.
a bit closer to that.
Yeah,
dude, crazy.
Anything else? Anyone else? Any more contributions?
The artist actually went to Guam to fire the guns for research for all the weapons that you see in the film.
Dude, you don't gotta go to Guam. You can go in someone's backyard here in West Virginia.
Not if you live in Japan.
And
very strict gun laws.
Yeah, exactly. And they're, you know, highly trained specialists, and they get to use all the guns that they're probably using in the anime.
Right. So yeah, it's a funny thing about the guns.
To capture the realism. That was part of it.
They're actually like variations on real life models. So apparently when she talks about Zestaba or whatever, it's actually a CZ. So they're using CZ100s or animated models of CZ100s. The Mateber,
dude, CZ crappy sizzle.
The Mateber is based on a real revolver, and so is the Uzi the guy uses is more or less based on an IMI Uzi. And some of the other submachine guns they guys have are based on Steyrs. So it's really interesting. They're like based on real weapons, even though they're slightly fantastical because they're drawn instead of filmed.
And like also for the research that they did with the guns, like the way the bullets hit, like, you know, cars and metal and everything, and sparks fly off and stuff like that. But for whenever it hits concrete, like they didn't want to add what you usually see in like movies, which is like extra splash or effects or everything. They left it. That's why everything's kind of like flat and it looks kind of muted almost when you see all the bullets hit the
because it's
hit
not
the
squibs.
concrete. Yeah, and it's like. And they also use that effect too when he uses the. Like the armor piercing rounds, like when he on the Uzi, he's like he's using the armor rounds and he's crazy.
Yeah.
So okay, so ratings wise, JVR, if you had to rate this on a scale from 1 to 10, what would you rate it?
That's a good question. I had to put it in a solid 8 to 8.5 territory for being so influential, for being so well drawn, for being so well thought out, philosophical.
Mm-hmm.
You would say. I do enjoy that. I think it does kind of. It really pushed, like, helped popularize anime going forward in other countries. Like I said, like there's like this in Akira, and then finally Ghibli blew up.
Yeah.
But for the longest time, it was like this was it. I mean,
and Dragon Ball helped in the mid-90s.
And the TV show, like
and
Dragon
Pokemon
Ball.
And Sailor Moon.
But Pokemon and Sailor Moon were all after this.
Yeah, it was late 90s.
Right. Dragon Ball had been going.
Evangelion, mid-90s, same time.
Yeah.
So you said 8 to 8.5 out of 10?
Right.
And that's a very more crazy, like serious, like different take on anime, like robot, like, you know.
Yeah. And I do I know that upon rewatching, the pacing could be maybe tightened up slightly, but it is such a compact and very dense movie that I do enjoy it all the way through. And it's not often you get like cartoon characters talking about heavy philosophy, and along with like crazy action and.
It makes you realize we're not actually here.
It makes me realize I'm here more than ever.
No.
Maybe you were never really here, but I'm here.
Yeah.
That's what we want you to think, by the way.
I can't prove you're here, but you can't not prove I'm here.
You, Dr. Movie. Don't forget Dr. Movie.
That's what we want you to think.
Anyway, so yeah, it's solid 8 to 8.5 for being well-made, influential, and well thought out. Well, just badass action sequences that went on to influence other movies.
Cool.
Other great movies.
Johnny Walker, if you had to rate this 1 to 10.
Yeah, I gave it a solid. I think I gave it the same, like a solid 8.5, like almost a 9. But like the more times I watch it, like it's not. It is like kind of just like them talking about things, and they're all so interesting and they make you think a lot, and that's why it's good. And the animation and everything around it is, and the way it's paced, and like it's all kind of. It just has like a certain style to itself that is just unique, and powerful at the same time. Like, I get what they're going for. So it's not like perfect or whatever. I love the style. I love the realism, the action, like everything they're talking about like going into machines and just like what the hell is going on? What are we gonna do? Everybody's augmenting each other. We're hacking each other. Like they're already like exploring like stories and detective like things that would be going on, like criminal activity that would be going on like in 20 or 50 years from now, like hacking cars and like and now you're just hacking people and like consciousness.
Dude, I know. What if someone like stole you?
And
that
like
suck.
yeah, exactly. So this movie is not too far off from the Matrix. Like if you can hack people's brains and hack people's anything, then yeah, you could just bubble everybody up into a machine and then you would be God and take over or whatever like the machines did.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy. Yeah, there's just so much like
Hey,
there's just so much going on in this movie that it's still relevant and it's still
Hey, what's this song
still looks
again?
good, still sounds good, still relevant, still great. Pacing is I agree with Javier a little bit. The pacing is kind of a little dated, I guess. Like people had more patience back then. But
do you guys know
yeah,
what
great.
this song is from? This interesting.
This is the movie. This is the song that's playing throughout the whole movie.
No. But isn't it in another movie as well?
I think it was made for
a similar
movie.
song is in Blade Runner.
Oh, okay.
But it's the use of the antique Japanese lyrical stylings, I think, that
Oh yeah.
that draws them together.
So okay, all right. So Johnny Walker, you said
8.5.
8.5.
Solid.
Okay, yeah. And then I think JBR also said 8.5. Okay, John Daniels here. I will give it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, I think very cool movie. Definitely makes you think about crazy crap. Number one, will this happen? Can this happen? I think yes.
Has it already happened?
Given enough time, right? Has it already? Is it already in today? And also paved the way, gave a lot of influence for movies you guys have already mentioned throughout the podcast here. Matrix, and of course all the sequels, and of course a number of other cartoons that came after. So yeah, definitely ahead of its time, and just kind of a more of a philosophical theme behind this crazy anime. And like I said, guys, it makes you think. If a stupid computer's asking that one scene, hey, you guys are asking me where I come from? Where do you come from? Do you know? You have no goddamn clue. So how are you going to ask me?
Yeah.
It's like crazy, right?
You're here.
Yeah.
I'm here. Let's deal with it.
We're both here. You claim you're a collective conscious. So am I. You know, you claim I'm nothing but like a bub, like whatever, like little bits of code. You're nothing but DNA that you have no idea where it's from.
Right.
Hilarious. Okay, guys.
And also, yeah, I do love that it is like an action, like kind of like, you know, like your classic 90s, like you know,
Action.
police squad movie taking out, and it's sweet, like Predator, like, you know, the camouflage and just the action in the movie is fucking sweet. There's only like, you know, 3 or 4 set pieces and that happens, but it's all really good.
Yes, sir.
Love it.
All right, cool. I think that wraps it up. You know, thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we'll see you next week for something we can think of to ramble on out. All right, take it easy, guys.
Bye now.